It's true that Mario Party has pretty much had a chokehold on the party game genre of video games since its first release, but there has been other titles across this genre that deserve some notoriety. In 2008, Dokapon Kingdom was introduced to the West, where players from the family-friendly board game scene unexpectedly started a game expecting to have fun. However, they soon became consumed by greed as the game went on. But in order to push the people closest to you away, you need to have family or friends to come over and play with you, which is something that no one does anymore. To mitigate this, Dokapon Kingdom Connect is here as a remastered release with some online functionality to cry alone as your in-game character goes into debt. Before we get into the review, we'd like to thank our Patreon supporters for making this possible. Please take a second to check out patreon.com/noisypixel to support independent game journalism. Dokapon Kingdom Connect is technically the second remake of this title, but you're not here for a history lesson given that the only entry people know about in the West is Dokapon Kingdom on PS2 and Wii. To preface this review, if you've played Dokapon Kingdom, you'll know exactly what you're getting yourself into. All of the old strategies and paths are preserved to flex on online players worldwide. However, some updated systems can be found, so let's start from the top. Dokapon Kingdom Connect's story mode introduces the kingdom of Dokapon under attack. The king announces that anyone who has the most money will be able to marry his daughter. Sure, that has nothing to do with the monster attack, but if you defeat the monsters, then you get money. So win-win. The jokes in this game don't stop there, as each chapter is closed out by a funny interaction between the king and his daughter, as well as a few other characters. Players will create a character by choosing a job class, with advanced job classes available through gameplay. The customization is initially limited, but more ways to personalize your experiences are unlocked as you progress. The advanced job classes definitely shake things up in terms of strategy, as their field actions open up possibilities to interfere with other players. However, the story isn't really the highlight here. Instead, players will make their way through various locales and dungeons until they reach their goal or rage quit, whichever comes first. For those that are very behind, returning is the option to become a Darkling, where players can turn into a demon character for a few weeks and take out opposing players. The general game flow has players spin a roulette to see how many spaces they can move. Whatever they land on will play out a scene. Most squares feature a battle encounter, but others can be shops, equipment, or other events. The various paths on the board offer many possibilities for the player, but the idea is simply to get stronger, earn money, and get to the next chapter. I would say Dokapon Kingdom Connect is way more fun to experience than it is to read about. The game just has so many moving parts, and the element that the players might find fun vary from situation to situation. For example, some minigames will allow you to enter a fashion competition or test your luck, and there's even an option to play a prank on other players after beating them in a duel. You know, as if taking their money and their pride isn't enough already. The arguments between players come after they race to secure properties around the game board. This introduces the option to collect taxes, but late gameplay becomes incredibly chaotic as players will utilize their higher stats and items to steal from other players, slow them down, or fight for their land. It's true that when money is involved, shit gets real. Aside from the story mode, players can customize the experience with normal mode, which allows you to choose several weeks, and whoever has the most money at the end wins. This is an excellent mode for those who just want a quick tour through the incredibly vast game boards, but I preferred the story mode when playing with friends. There's also a Battle Royale mode where you can choose Town Race, Kill Race, or Shopping Race. Each mode comes with a specific goal, and whoever gets it first wins. What's cool about this mode is that it provides a separate objective that isn't just money-based. The online mode is where most of the fun will be had, and it is the most significant feature of this remastered. Players can begin a game with up to 3 other players. A player can drop out and switch to a computer because these games can be long, so that's a great option. A few records are kept, but the experience can be off the rails depending on who you're playing with. While there are some ways to interact with online players, the limited online chat functionality of the Switch means you'll likely have to find Discord communities to get the best experience. Graphically, Dokapon Kingdom Connect looks like the original with a fresh coat of paint. All the zany designs and situations have returned, backed up by a great soundtrack. However, I do find it strange that the Switch release in the West has a couple of altered clothes on the female characters. I usually can understand why these alterations were discussed, but here, I don't think there's a reason for these changes. Dokapon Kingdom Connect remains a friend-ruining RPG board game experience that mirrors its PS2 counterpart. The unique minigames and systems return to bring this unconventional party game to modern players. Playing with friends is still fun over a decade later, and online options make it even more accessible. Still, its nuanced systems and limited new gameplay features may make it more of a novelty than a game with significant staying power. Noisy Pixel is giving Dokapon Kingdom Connect a 7 out of 10. Thanks for watching. This video is brought to you by our supporters on Patreon. Noisy Pixel is run by a group of gamers providing independent gaming coverage through news, reviews, previews, and more. Check out our Patreon to help support our continued growth and subscribe to keep up with all our future content.
Noisy Pixel.